Okay, hello everyone, and good morning and welcome to the first workshop by this Center for Digital Transformation. Can you guys all hear me in the back? Is the microphone working? Wonderful. Yes, so maybe you guys have already have heard of, we opened up the Information and Communication Systems area, opened a new research center called Center for Digital Transformation. And Professor Aditi RP is the chair of the center. And so this is the first workshop, academic workshop hosted by the center. And we thought we wanted to make it an interdisciplinary workshop. The reason being is, first, the topics, digital transformation, occurs every field, across many fields. So it's not about only just business organization that is going through a lot of transformation due to digitization. It's all about our lives and our society and law and culture and everything is changing due to digitization. So that's why we wanted to make this workshop for an interdisciplinary workshop. And then so, for instance, I'm doing research on enterprise wiki. Like wiki is Wikipedia. So, and then I wanted to find a good theory to explain what's happening on wiki. Because as you guys know, Wikipedia is the place where everybody just start contributing without being paid. But think about how hard it is for you to make a student just to write one-page document. Right? And then it is really hard to make somebody do something by providing incentive, either explicit or implicit. However, Wikipedia doesn't provide any tangible benefits, but many people just start writing things on Wikipedia without receiving any tangible benefits. And I looked up theories in my field, which is information systems field, and I couldn't find any theories that explain the users' voluntary contributions. So, and then I thought about I had to go to other fields. So where did I find it? I found the theory in sociology. Yes. Yes. So I'm using that institutional entrepreneurship theory. Yes. And so that's why we thought this is wonderful time and event for all of us across a variety of fields come together and talk about our research and explore possibilities to work together. So thank you very much for coming here today. And so my name is Young Lee, just in case you don't know. I'm the chair of the workshop. And then now I'm pass the time to Professor RP.
Thank you, Young. Thanks everyone for being here. For me, after the provost approved the center with no money, then which I suppose is typical. So we are scrambling to, get moving, spread the word around, grant work, etc. So I was just going to say a few things. The website is up and running, and it's being updated, and new information is being added to it as we speak. On October 19th, we had a great kickoff event at Lincoln Center. Over 160 people were there. Some of the faculty were there. Joel is not here, but he was there as well. But there are two key points. The provost wants the center to be interdisciplinary, there's no doubt. So I just want to emphasize that for logistical purposes, it might be housed in a particular school or schools of business, but this is supposed to be a truly university-wide interdisciplinary center. So I'm hoping that as we go forward and set up contacts and find our mutual interests, that you'll agree to serve on the advisory board of the center, the Fordham Advisory Board, as well as I'm looking for three things. One is, like she was saying about research, Professor Lee, I noticed in grant proposals all of a sudden I hit a block as well, because some of the grant proposals require really interdisciplinary work and collaboration. The most recent one I'm trying to put together is the National Science Foundation Sustainability I think it's called, everyone got that, right, from James Wilson, Sustainability Science Network. There's a lot of buzz about sustainability. Gabelli has a minor with the other school, I forget which one, is it the School of Arts? They have a minor in sustainable business, and students are taking courses not from the business school, but from the other school. So again, I'm looking for people to work with me on this proposal, and so that's another example that many of these grant proposals in fact encourage and require interdisciplinary work. Another one I've been looking at is the Time Warner grants for research and digital communication. Again, they want resumes and they encourage co-authors, people working together, not just one or two people. So I'm looking for that. I hope we can do that together. And the third one is the curriculum. I'm going to ask Dr. Eshki to just say a few words about that. I was surprised to discover, again, is it sociology, the 1 year online?
Social service.
Social
and,
service.
School of Religious Studies.
Yeah, so I was fascinated to find out from Fleur that they have a 1 year fully online program, and I thought if we were introducing something ourselves that we could learn from that, but that information was not readily available. I just happened to meet with her and we were chatting about it. So in all of these three areas of research, curriculum development, as well as for me also grant work, which is exciting, I think. And many of you have experience the digital humanities group that you got funded from.
The National Endowment.
Exactly, to do the workshops, etc. So, so I'm going to stop there and just request to feel free and not look at this as a center sitting in some business school somewhere, but really as a university-wide interdisciplinary center that we can, in the future, the present and the future, work together. I don't want to go over all the objectives and the vision and the mission, a lot of fluff over there, but in order to get a center approved, you have to put all that stuff in. Now, I guess I have to live up to it or something. But it pretty much covers everything. The digital transformation, Jan was talking about it. I always give the example of the farmers in Bangladesh using cell phones to trade on the commodities market, or my other favorite is healthcare workers, primary workers using mobile technologies in Africa to provide healthcare information services and so on. So I think there's enough going on in the various departments and schools that we can, I can also see with the law school, Joel is not here, but his own Center for Information Policy is doing quite a bit in intellectual property, privacy. He's going to be late here because he's actually doing their monthly seminar at the Lincoln Center right now. He's returned, I think, from a conference in Mexico on privacy and security, and they're kind of talking about that. So, and they also have the Leitner Center in the law school. That's a well-funded, I'm so envious of that center. Have you seen their offices in Westchester? It's just awesome, beautiful, plush offices there. But again, they're doing work in sustainability in Ghana. Paulo is always in Ghana doing legal service work, more to do with human rights, but I can see the sustainability because that's called the sustainability group within the Leitner Center. So let me stop. Let's see if you have any questions. Thanks for coming here. I left home from Central Jersey at 5:45, and I made it through all the trains and everything, but then got stuck in the Ram van. So that was my doing here. So we were there almost an hour, right, Robin? Yeah, dozed off. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to just go briefly the agenda for today, and then we'll get started. Yes, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to present our research. That's going to take about 2 hours. So thank you for those of you who sent us the presentation materials. And then Donna will be here, the Dean of Gabelli School of Business, will be here sometime between 11 and 12. So I just put her at 11:55, but she may speak maybe 11:30, something like that. So we will see about that. And then 12 to 1, if you haven't presented anything today, this is your chance to just get involved in discussion, and we'll explore what kind of interdisciplinary research opportunities we have. Maybe we can come up with new ideas today, and we can find co-authors today. So that'll be fun. And then 1 to 1:30, what do we really want to know? Right? To do a good research, we need funding. So the funding officers, grant officers will be here to go over the possible opportunities for interdisciplinary research. As Aki mentioned, I'm looking at also the funding opportunities as well. And then there are a number of opportunities for especially interdisciplinary studies on digital transformation. So we really want to just work more on this topic. And then we will close at 10:30-ish. 10:30? 1:30-ish.
Yeah.
All right, so before we start our presentation, I would like to go around the table, around the room, and so you guys can introduce to each other, and then we know what wonderful people we have here today.
Oh, thanks, Jan. I'm Nikki McGee. I teach in sociology and anthropology, and with Patrick Cornerback, I co-chair the Digital Humanities Working Group.
I'm Marianne Kowaleski. I'm in the history department. I'm also director of the Center for Medieval Studies.
I'm Patrick Cornerback. I teach in the theology department and work with Mickey and Marianne and others on the digital humanities work.
James Wilson, Director of Faculty Development.
Fran Glover, Graduate School of Education, and a member of a new center to be developed in the Graduate School of Education, the Center for Interdisciplinary Studies and Interdisciplinary Research.
Evangelos Kazamakis, I'm professor at the Business School Information Systems Group.
Mark Silver in the Information Systems area of the Schools of Business.
Aditya Saharia, Information Systems.
Laura Eshke, Associate Vice President for Instructional Technology, Academic Computing.
Saratan Prabhade, Associate Professor of Marketing and Business Schools.
John Carey, I teach in the Communication and Media Management area of Business School.
John Ketchum. I'm a student in CDT, and I'm pursuing a degree in Management Information and Communication Systems.
Matthew Kennedy, I'm also a student of Professor Kasamakis, and I'm an accounting major.
I'm R.T. Raghupati. I also teach in the schools of business, and I'm also adjuncting in the School of Law. Last year I got a master's in law, and then I said, okay, let me go and try messing up their minds as well. So, so I'm not a bad school. Thank you.
Yeah. So, without further ado, we're going to start research presentations. So, there you go. I'm right there. And since nobody wanted to go first, I took the first spot. All right. So I'm assistant professor in information systems, and then this year I got faculty fellowship, and so I'm actually not. I don't have to be here, right? I can go anywhere I want. So I'm actually visiting Boston College, Kellogg School of Management. And I'm doing research there as well, on the wiki paper that I told you about. So I'm going to talk about the research soon. And I had a PhD from University of British Columbia, Canada. And I have an MBA and BA in psychology. So I do have some background in humanities. And I do research on online communities and social networks and human information processing, decision making. So I take more like psychology approach. And I have published a few papers, and thankfully they have been cited a lot, cited many, many times. So, all right. So I have done many other research studies, but in this semester I'm focusing on these two projects. The first one is social media and transformation of organizations. So this is the paper I told you about, the wiki and the wiki's transforming role in the business world. So, what is most important asset in business organizations? Of course, money, right? People. Yes, but other than that, what other intangible asset is most important? What does it make you get ahead in the competition? Knowledge, expertise. Right? So then we need to have a way to collect the knowledge and store the knowledge and share the knowledge. And then because of Wiki's potential to generate voluntary contributions. We can use Wiki to solicit people's expertise and knowledge. So this is a paper, that is the paper about that. So, and then a second stream of my research is social networks and psychological benefits to users. This study starts from a very simple question. Why do they use social network, Facebook? Right? How many hours do college students spend on Facebook each week? I read the news and it says 16 hours a week. 16 hours a week. And then they are not paid anything. They're not getting any incentives. And then they're still using 16 hours a week on Facebook. Then what drives them to Facebook? That was the question. Why do you think our kids use Facebook so often? Our students in our classroom.
Pleasure.
Pleasure, yes.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Because
Connection
it's fun.
and pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely, it is fun. But why does it make it more fun than just talking to somebody in person? Yes.
There is some work in psychology indicating that the sort of anonymity allows you to engage in self-disclosure, which in turn is related to better psychological adjustment, at least during the adolescent years.
Absolutely, that's very good. Thank you. That's exactly
But it's not anonymous, right? Facebook.
The relative anonymity, because there's not always a face associated. It doesn't necessarily have to be a face, and you're not necessarily seeing gestures.
Mhm. So what you create, the online identity you create, can be very different from your actual identity. Yes, definitely. So at the end of the day, I felt that our kids and users use social networks because they feel good about themselves. They can just make better image of themselves, so improve their self-concept, self-confidence. Yes, so I'll talk about the first study first, the Wiki paper. So Wiki paper is about, okay, we can use Wiki to manage knowledge management processes. But then how can we implement Wiki successfully? Not all Wikis become successful. Many, even 80–90% of Wikis that are implemented in business organizations are abandoned and fail drastically. So only a few remain successful. And then what makes the business Wiki, or you call it enterprise Wiki, successful, as opposed to other wikis that have found to be unsuccessful? And in this paper, I talked about the right set of management skills. We have to have a different set of management skills to make wiki successful in business organizations, especially for the purpose of knowledge management. And what are those management skills? It's not about policies, it's not about managerial ethics, it's not about authoritative policies, it's about social skills. The project leader's social skills, soft social skills. Those project leaders should use, yes, social capital, empathy, and then legitimate positionality and discursive strategy. So what do I mean by discursive strategy? Discursive strategy is a catchphrase, something that you can put in one line, and that has been found to be very successful when you implement social media. So in this particular form, their discursive strategy was "it's in the wiki." So to drive people to use the wiki, they always say, "It's in the wiki, go find it." And then another open source software company, I forgot the name of the company, but then their discursive strategy was Microsoft sucks. This discursive strategy drives people. It's just like the thing they always share. It creates sense of community. Yes, and then that's what makes social media very successful. So in this was NBC Universal case. I went there, I had some contacts there. So I went to the company and then just interviewed people. Basically, what they say is they make better decisions. Now they can find information faster. So they saved about $100,000 last year. Yes. So this is, and then now I'm moving to the second research topic that I'm working on, the social network, Facebook. So again, the question was why people use social networks so much, almost investing too much of their time on the social networks, right? And then, so the question is why people become so loyal to SNS. I went to visit my graduate school in Canada last summer. And I used to live in a dormitory, and it's a very small dormitory for only graduate students. So, the graduate students, they work very hard, but on the weekend they want to go out, right? So what we did before was we knock on each other's door and are you guys still here? Why don't we go out and let's maybe go out for dinner, maybe go out for a few drinks. And that's what we did. But this time when I visited, and then nobody knocks on their door. They do all Facebook. They don't go out. Yeah. They use applications and they make parties, virtual parties. They don't go out. Yes. So that just fascinated me. Yes. So now what makes them so loyal to social networks as opposed to anything else, face-to-face interactions, which I found more interesting, more fulfilling. I get to see people as a person. I think it is much more fulfilling than knowing a person as an avatar. But that's what the kids are doing, the young generation are doing. So now I looked at two different technological platforms. Do you know what the Second Life is? Yeah, Second Life is, so basically you create your avatar and then you go into this virtual world and you can create whatever you want. You can buy a house, you can get married, you can have kids, you can go to school, you can do business, you can get a job. So you're creating your virtual world. Yes. So on this project, I worked with Professor Aditya Saharia, and then the first set of hypothesis is why do people become loyal to social networks, right? Why do people become loyal to? And then the answer, I already spoke to a friend, but it is because using social networks feel better about ourselves. It enhances the perception of who we are. We write something, when you write something on the wall, you wouldn't write anything negative about yourself, would you? You would only write something positive about yourself. And then your friends respond to your post. Oh, you did great job. Congratulations. And when you go through these interactions, they improve their self-concept. So they present themselves positively. I call it self-presentation. And then they also feel that they belong to a group, belong to a reference group, the group that they always wanted to belong to. I'm Fordham student. Self-efficacy. I can control the events and people around me. So when you improve these self-concepts, it increases social value. What do I mean by social value? When you have a more solid the self-concept, you can socialize better. You can make more friends, you can feel more confident in the social setting, so you get along with people better. And that's why people get addicted to social networks. Does it make sense? No? No? So that was the first set of hypothesis. And I wanted to see if people behave differently on Second Life as opposed to Facebook. Facebook, you show your real name and you mostly deal with the friends you already know of, right? But the Second Life, you are dealing with people you have never met, who you don't even know who they are. So I compared Second Life and Facebook. And then as you can see, the most important concept in Second Life is self-efficacy. So, they could improve self-presentation, social identity, and self-efficacy. However, especially on Second Life, what users want to do is to create a sense of control that they never had. Right? In the virtual, maybe there are some boys who are very shy, who never ask girls out. And he always wanted some social experience. And then in the real life, he never had the control. He never had this control. He never thought he could control the situation. But then in Second Life, he feels that he can't control the event or the people that are around him. So on Second Life, people become used to and become loyal to Second Life because they can do things they were unable to do, and therefore they can build the sense of control. I would call it self-efficacy, the Bandura's term. Bandura's term, so psychologist. All right, so that's about it. I spent 15 minutes. All right, so we are going to move on to the digital humanities group. And the first presenter is Dr. Kowalski.
Kowalski, that's okay. That W is pronounced as a V. It's kind of hard. Can I just hit the enter button here? This is a huge thing here. Hi, thank you so much for inviting the Digital Humanities Group. This is my 30th year at Fordham, and I was probably one of the first people to be involved in digital media. And so what I'm going to talk about today are the 7 websites that are sponsored by the Center for Medieval Studies. Let's see. Right. These are all screenshots. I'm not sure about the quality. So the center was founded about 40 years ago with the help of a large NEH grant to promote the interdisciplinary study of the Middle Ages. And the Middle Ages is from around the 3rd century to around 1500. So we're covering a very, very long period. And this is theology and history and art and music and literature. It's the whole bag is the way we look at things. We have 7 participating departments, and their PhD students can choose to complete a 15-credit doctoral concentration in medieval studies. Added on to their PhD. But we also offer a BA and an MA degree. There are currently 26 students in our MA degree. Now, from a very early date, the center was interested in digital media. We were really one of the first academic units to custom design our own websites. You'll notice that I'm one of the last holdouts that's refused to move to Waves here. Today we host 7 different websites. The most recent of which is Dr. Hornbeck's The Latin Works of Wycliffe, so I'm not going to talk about that one. Now, our first large digital project was the Internet Medieval Sourcebook, which was begun in 1995 by one of my graduate students at the time, Paul Hassel. He was actually a Byzantinist, I think it makes it the oldest digital project at Fordham. The site includes copyright-free translations of medieval primary sources actually written during the Middle Ages, and these range from chronicles and romances to court documents. I'm an economic historian. There's lots of financial documents, that type of thing on it. Now, Dr. Hassel soon began adding, okay, that's not going. There we go. Soon began adding source books for the ancient and modern periods, thus creating what this is, the Internet History Source Books Project. He then divided up the 3 main source books to create the subsidiary source books, and those are listed on the side. If I go back, let's see. I'm sorry, this is not working very well. Well, we'll just leave it there. I can use